Jobina, do you know who Elle Woods is?
Yes.
Because when I heard her say Elle Woods in the show, I thought she was talking about Tiger Woods' first wife. And I was like, why is she trying to dress like Tiger Woods' first wife? But that is Elin. I think her name is Elin Woods.
I guess.
And Elle Woods is from Legally Blonde. The things you learn watching shows about what to wear. You ready?
Ready.
Let's start the show. Hey everyone, I am Luther Palmer, and this is One Episode Stand, the podcast that helps you figure out what to watch and what to ghost.
And I'm Jobina Scott. Each episode we watch and discuss the premiere of a new show, then move on to the next show. You already know about one night stands, no strings, no commitments. This is like that, but for TV shows.
We also dig into some of the bigger questions these shows raise when you're not just watching, but actually paying attention. Jobina, we're going to get to wear whatever the F you want. I think I got that right?
Yeah, you did.
But tell the people what else you're watching.
Okay, I'm watching a comedy special, and it is a new comedy special on Netflix by Mike Birbiglia. Do you know Mike?
No.
Okay, he is really funny, but a lot of his jokes are like deeply personal and rooted in personal like pains and traumas, and he's been ill and he talks about that. I really like it. He's sort of an intellectual comic, and he's a dry sense of humor. The pace is sort of slow.
How did you hear about that? Did Netflix say, hey, Jobina, boy, do we have a comic for you?
Well, he's not a new comedian. It's a new special. So they sent it to me because I watched the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I learned about Mike Birbiglia from watching This American Life. Like, he's been featured in several stories by, my good friend Ira Glass on This American Life. And I love it.
Jobina, I am watching probably the weirdest show I have ever watched in my entire life.
Do tell.
It's called Rehearsal, and have you heard about it?
No, what is it on?
It's going around the internet now as being the weirdest show of all time. People even say like it's hard to describe, but I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm giving it a shot.
Okay.
The premise of the show is this guy constructs scenarios that you can rehearse difficult life moments for.
Okay.
So for instance, if you want to break up with your girlfriend, basically ask you, where do you want to do it? You say, there's a bar, we'd like to go to a restaurant. He builds an exact replica of the restaurant.
What?
And you sit in different seats, and he has actors follow your girlfriend around, and they get her personality so that they can respond how she would respond, huh? This is like the kernel of the show. It goes so much more ridiculous and so much deeper that he has actors following the actors around. It is so ridiculous. The Rehearsal. It's called Rehearsal of the Rehearsal.
What platform is it on?
It's on HBO Max, but I'm watching it through Amazon. No. What? I don't. All these different platforms are all connected. I don't even know what I watch it on.
But just Google Rehearsal. Got it.
The Rehearsal. It is wicked. It's a head and it's reality TV, but it's not, because you don't know who's acting, who's not acting. It's crazy. All right. Let's get to what the F. I'm going to say up front.
Okay.
I don't know if I like saying what the F.
That is the title of the show, sir.
But and I get that being the title because your show is going to be on, streaming networks where kids might see it. But I think on the actual show, they shouldn't be saying what the F, like wear whatever the F. You should say the way, or bleep it out. Just bleep out when they say fuck. But just say, wear whatever the F you want to wear. It's almost like saying these crazy N-words. Like what?
Oh,
like that. Like, no one talks like that. no one says the
Clinton
F.
and Stacy.
Okay, what did you know about this show before we picked it?
Okay, I know a lot about this show because I was a fan of the show that made them famous. So these two from 2000 2003 to 2013, so a 10-year run, had another show called What Not to Wear. And they would, like, people would nominate you. You're a terrible dresser. Like, your family thinks you look a mess.
Like,
they would
congratulations.
Nominate you.
Your wardrobe is terrible.
Your wardrobe is terrible. So your family would nominate you, and then they would secretly videotape you for like a week. So they get you like going to the grocery store looking like trash. Like, you just look awful. And then... Luther, they would surprise you, like ambush you, show you the footage, shame you. Then you have to bring your entire wardrobe to New York in a very similar studio to the one you see on this show. And they would throw out all of your clothes and force you to...
Wait, they did this in New York? They literally, you would bring your whole wardrobe. They would fly you to New York. You bring your entire wardrobe. And they would say, absolutely not.
Ask you to like try on different outfits, explain why you're wearing this, and they would throw everything away. Okay. And then you had $5,000 to build a new wardrobe, and like initially they would help you with some rules, and then you would shop on your own and you'd get a makeover. And it was, I loved it.
So that's why they said in the intro, we get to do it right this time.
Yeah. Because instead of shaming people to not wear what they like, they're saying, let us help you develop within your own personal style.
I guess they assumed that people knew them from the previous show. I had never heard of them. I had never seen them. So when they said that, that's when I think you had told me, like, oh, they're on another show before.
Yeah, everybody else in the world.
Now, would you say...
They did.
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, would you say that What Not to Wear was wildly popular?
It was wildly popular. People were hoping to get on What Not to Wear. I actually knew someone who was on What Not to Wear. It was wildly popular because you could get a whole new wardrobe that was hyper stylish. You got this beautiful makeover, your hair, your whatever, and like you're transformed and your family's wowed and they're not embarrassed of you anymore. It was fantastic.
Okay, so give us the facts on wear whatever the F you want to wear.
Yeah, so this new show is on Prime, and of course it's still a reality show. The setting of the show is both their studio, so the same sort of beautiful luxury studio where you get to try on a bunch of clothes, but then also like the person out in their natural habitat wearing the clothes and seeing how it makes them feel. And of course, the stars, Stacy London and Clinton Kelly, are back together again. It's about 45 minutes. And as we've already said, Stacy and Clinton are icons and stars.
Okay. So we talked about what the show is about, right? We've kind of covered what the show is about. Mm-hmm. This episode in particular was about a mom. Was she a single mom or was there a husband involved?
No, I think there was a husband involved. Maybe
but he wasn't present.
No, we didn't get to see him. We saw he probably was like, I don't want to be on the show.
You know what he really said? He really said, I like the way she is now. That's what he really said.
I don't want you
to change her. And they said, we don't need you to be on the show, sir. We don't care about your opinion. But she's a mom, and her like sad story is, I'm a mom. I've given my life to momming. My middle name is changed to Mom, and everyone knows me as a mom, and I'm just gonna mom myself.
I live for my girls. Live for them.
Right. And she was saying, like, I want to be cuter. And that's when she mentioned, I want to look like Elle Woods. Mm-hmm. And who else did she say? She said someone else.
Oh, Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
She really liked that. She liked that girly girl look, like sort of Barbie-ish.
Do you have style? What would you call them? Inspiration? Do you have people that you think about as being aspirational to your personal style?
Maybe. Like I remember the first time that I was close with a friend of someone who was like hyper put together. And I knew that like whatever decade it was, like whatever the style was, I just wanted to, that was my aspiration always, was to be that put together woman. So you have like the right outfit, but you've got good accessories, your hair looks nice, your makeup, like you look like you are dressed intentionally. So I guess that's my aspirational style.
But put together doesn't, it doesn't like target a specific individual.
No, it doesn't.
So you don't have a specific individual.
I love the Tracee Ellis Ross's style. But she's a very wealthy woman. It's sort of hard to aspire to her style.
Right. Which is a little bit of a conundrum here, right? Because she said a couple names throughout the show. Like, did she mention Prince Harry's wife? Was she a person that was a style icon?
Maybe she mentioned Meghan Markle. I don't know, but her, to your point, like her aspiration is to look like someone who doesn't really fit in her environment.
Right.
She's like, she was from, you're still going home to like wherever.
Yeah, she was from some rural town in Indiana or Oklahoma or something.
Yeah. Like you're still going back there dressed as Paris Hilton. Like I don't think it's going to work out.
So how did the show look, sound, and feel? And I'll start because the hosts they're corny, which is fine, right? It's fine to be corny.
If you're a host, you gotta have a little of that.
I also felt some tension. Like there was kind of like I'm going to laugh at this joke because I'm supposed to laugh, but I didn't really find that funny. That was a little bit off-putting for me. And maybe it's their first show. It was kind of,
well, they're coming back from like a major disagreement and falling out in their friendship. So
Over
these
what?
two, they were colleagues, of course, for 10 years. And post show, I think the relationship was fine, but Clinton.
Wait, just real quick, was this like they were the two stars of the show? Like they were not a team.
Like no, well, in the same way that this show had like a hairstylist and a makeup artist.
Okay, but
there was a woman who did that, but these two were. It was roughly the same format. So imagine you have 10 years working together. The chemistry between them was not like this. Like it was completely on point. Like you could tell they really liked each other. They had a really good vibe. They complimented each other. That post the show, Clinton wrote a memoir, and he says in the memoir that like of Stacy London, I loved her and despised her or hated her. And she read it and completely cut him off. She just was like, she didn't have that feeling. She thought their friendship was intact. She didn't like hearing about it in a really public setting in his book. And she completely cut him off. And they did not talk until he came to her to pitch the show. So from whenever his memoir came out, shortly after the show ended, until now, they have been like... Wait,
they didn't even speak to say, what did you mean?
No, she saw it and she was so hurt by it.
I don't understand that, Jobina. Because one thing I know is that... Well, two things I know. Well, there's a lot of things I know. Okay, but I was thinking in terms of media.
Yeah.
Book publishers push you to make salacious statements to sell books.
So you can sell the book.
Like everyone knows that. So why would you take it personal that a person says something like that? Like why would that? Why would you? To the point of not even talking to them.
I think for her, if you heard that I said, I guess I'll host the show with Luther. I mean, he's sort of awful at it, but right. Don't you?
I would be like, sell them books, Jobina. Sell them books. I would call you like, girl, you better have made some money because you threw me under the whole bus. Like, you don't throw me on the bus and make $25. But if you make $1 million, throw me under the entire bus.
Yeah, Stacy did not feel that way.
But see, that suggests to me that they weren't real friends anyway. Like seriously.
I mean, maybe there was
if you're not even willing
friends
to talk.
And maybe I'm wrong that they didn't talk, but I know that their friendship ended. Like once she discovered this, their friendship ended and it did not reunite until he was pitching the show. And she said when he called her or his publicist or whoever, somebody on his team called her team, she said, this man hates me. What do you mean he wants? She thought it was a joke. Like, what do you mean he wants to do the show with me?
Because maybe they did talk and he said, no, yes, I actually do hate you.
No, I hated you.
No, the publisher actually
I wrote that.
Asked me to soften it, and I was I hate this bitch.
Right, he said I changed it to despise. But I said they're smoothing it out. What you see in that little bit of offness is they are still working through reuniting, like reconstructing this relationship.
So, Jobina, without naming any names, do you have a work colleague from your past who you do not, who you would be equally surprised if they reached out to you to collaborate on something?
No. No,
really?
I have had really good work relationships and people that I had a work colleague that I saw several months ago that I hadn't seen in years. We got together and had dinner when I was in the same city. Like I've had someone who was here for a conference that I got together with that I hadn't seen in forever.
Well, your work is all
like,
lovey-dovey. I know that.
Is
I'm
not.
just curious if
strategic and smart and mission oriented. So I have, because I am a good person and have worked with good people. I don't have any of that. Do you?
I don't think so. There were some people that I really did not like. Like I hated them actually.
You did?
But they didn't know I hated them.
They didn't know.
Yeah. So I've been through a strike and a worker strike. And I was a part of I was on the labor side of the worker strike, and labor was divided. And there were people who did not strike who they just not carry themselves. It's one way to be. No, it's not even just selling out, right? I got to take care of my family. I got to feed my family. I can't strike. Okay. But to make incendiary comments against the strikers who are trying to help you,
they're trying to help you, right? Even what they get is going to benefit you.
Right. And so I was just like, you F-er. That's just using the language of the show.
In the spirit of the show, right?
GDM F-er.
Oh, no.
But I didn't say it. I just, at work, I wear a mask.
Right. You're very professional.
You don't
now
say
maybe
all
on the
that you
flip
say.
Side of my story, someone is like, I can't believe she didn't mention me because I hated her.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I loved everybody.
Right. Okay, so let's get back to talk about this mom.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say this. Whenever I interact with a new father,
okay,
my advice to new fathers is your job is to keep the mom sane because she's going to drive herself crazy for the sake of the child. She's going to do everything from warming up the milk to the perfect 10th of a degree she's going to run herself ragged, basically.
This is
true. And your job is to say, no, we're not going to do that because you're killing yourself. And that's not good for the kid. So Jobina, my question is, and in this show, the mom was just mommed out.
She was.
What is going on with mothers that drives them to just lose themselves completely?
I don't know. There is no end to the deep love that you have for these little humans. There's just something in your brain that tells you will do absolutely anything for them at the expense of your own self. And you just put yourself at the bottom of the list. And there's also no end to their needs. So it's not like they're not going to tell you don't kill yourself.
There is an end to their need.
Well, sure. The kids are never going to say to you, Mom, you've done enough. They're going to be like, and also, can you do this? Will you do that? And so maybe there's an end to their needs, but there's not often an end to their demands. Oh, goodness.
I saw a great post on social media where the person was saying, everyone says, I'll die for my kid. I'll do this. And they said, will you get adequate rest at night for your kid? Will you go to the gym and take care of your body for your kid? Let's reframe it. Because you're not in a good place if you're so deprived.
This is
that
true.
You and I'm just like, why can't mothers see this? Right?
Well,
That's a very...
you're also creating for them the blueprint for how to be a mom. So it just perpetuates itself. If you had a mom who killed herself for you, you turn around and kill yourself for their kids, which says to them, oh, this is how you be a mom. This woman did not even have her own clothes. She came to the studio in her daughter's clothes because she didn't buy herself any clothes anymore. She's like, I just borrow clothes from my daughter.
Jobina, if I gave my wife $500 and said, go get yourself something nice, she would come back with bags and bags of children's clothes for our daughters. Yeah. She would.
Yeah. So would I. I mean, that is exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. I would be spending all of my kids. I was having a conversation with my husband today who was like, these kids do not need any more toys. He was like, just stop. Yeah. He's like, Christmas and their birthday. That has to be it. Like, stop buying them toys because the playroom is overrun with things. Yeah. But their little hearts, like they just, I don't know. There's just, and there is there not like scientific evidence that like a part of your children's DNA lives on in your body? Like, I think if that's true, like there has to be. That sounds like
social media.
Well, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I got that off of the University of Instagram. But if that can be scientifically supported, one of our listeners should let me know. But
that doesn't mean you can't say no to a toy in the store. Like, it doesn't. Even if that's true, you can still say no to the toy. You just want them to be happy.
You do. You just want them to be happy. I don't know. It's just it's the way we're wired.
Yeah. So. As we're watching this show and she's getting this, so the language that they chose to use in the intro was, we help people fulfill their fashion fantasy, which I thought was interesting. And they were making the point that people don't wear what they want to wear. They just wear what just kind of like their wardrobe just kind of comes together.
Right? Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times people don't wear what they want to wear because they're fearful or they're, hesitant for some reason, or their job. And the purpose of the show,
whatever. Yeah.
Right. The purpose of the show is to like tell them wear what you want to wear. Yeah. And are you wearing what you want to wear?
Yeah, for the most part, I am. Like, I pick the things that I like, and I think that's why it's hard for me to describe a style icon, because I don't know that I have one style, but I know what I like, and when I see it, like, even if I think it's maybe not something the next person will wear, I'm going to wear it, because I feel like by the time you get, by the time you get my age, you know what looks good on you, right? And those are the things that I buy.
I have two minds about this, because I like wearing very, like, not bright, but I like wearing clothes that are unique. Like, I like wearing unique things.
Okay.
And unique looks. But the problem with unique is you can't wear them every day. Like, you can't wear this bright pant every day. Yeah. So if you're going to have that style, you have to have a lot of clothes. But I don't like to have a lot of clothes. I like to have very simple clothes. And I like for my morning routine to be very simple, where I can just pick out. So I have like 10 pair of blue pants and 10 pair of khaki pants.
And you just
so then I have these couple pieces of things that are like a little bit more flair to them, but I would wear flair all the time.
But why can't you? I mean, that's what Clinton and Stacy are saying. They're saying, look, if you want to wear those red pants once a week, every week, like, who's telling you that that's too much?
That's a good point. I mean, that's a good point. You think I can't wear every week, but they're saying you can wear it every week.
I mean, they literally told this lady, if you want to dress like Paris Hilton in your rural community, take these clothes that you won't have anywhere to wear them and wear it. Wear it to the office. Wear it wherever you want.
I'm going to pick something and I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it more regularly.
Yeah. Something with flair, something with bold color that you like, and just wear it because it makes you feel good.
She also used this phrase, coastal chic, to describe what she was going for.
She did.
And this is trendy. Like, even with like home design, there's all this language. Coastal,
it gets in there.
And then now in fashion, there's all this language. So I came up with a style descriptor for me.
Oh,
what I would consider my style.
I'm dying to know what it is.
My style description is urban lumberjack.
Urban lumberjack, I love it. Well, you are kind of a lumberjack of sorts. Like, you are a jack of all trades. You do a lot of cool stuff. Like, you're handy. I like urban lumberjack.
Yeah, I like a rugged look. But I like it to be a little,
little edgy,
yeah. I mean, the words urban and lumberjack don't go together, but I'm putting them together because because I'm wearing whatever the F I want to wear.
You want, that's and if you went to that studio, Clinton and Stacy would pull together an urban lumberjack wardrobe and send you back to your community dressed as an urban lumberjack forever.
So they get this woman dressed. They pick out all these things, and then they have a friend come in. They have a friend from home come in to say, like, is this her? Right? Has she gotten caught up in the moment? Like, is this her style? The friend says, yes, this is great. And then they end the show by she goes back home with this new style.
She does.
Her friends are
really
like, hey,
quickly,
girl.
The one thing that was weird about the experience, though, is that they sent her like out into New York to go to some weird teasing.
That was so strange.
With people she didn't know. I was like, this is so bizarre. Why are you sending her into this public place to have a random conversation with women she doesn't know while she's dressed up in this? I don't know. I just felt like that was the weirdest part of the show.
Yeah. So here, this got to me as well, because as we're talking about motherhood and what women do and all the sacrifices they make, and they sacrifice too much, it seemed to me like these people were saying, oh, all you need is a wardrobe change. And there's that quote, like, if the only tool you have is a hammer, it's tempting to treat everything as if it were a nail. Mm-hmm. I think if you're a wardrobe stylist / specialist, think that all the world's problems can be solved.
They thought they were fixing her life. Yes.
And I'm like, there's a deeper issue here than just when she reaches in the closet. Like, this person needs, not that she needs therapy in a way that like she's gonna harm herself, but like this person might need to have some serious conversations about motherhood.
Like, how did it get to this place? Because you don't have any clothes. How it
got to this place, like, right?
You're wearing your daughter's clothes. You're not taking care of yourself.
Do you think she'll continue with this style? Like, do you think they're just like, okay, good luck. Here's 7 shirts and 10 pants.
Exactly. Well, this is the other thing. Like, even with what not to wear, like, $5,000 is not a wardrobe make. Like, you are going home with not enough clothes, and in 2 weeks you're going to be back at the super Walmart, like, getting yourself
jeans and baggy t-shirts
and a baggy t-shirt, because it's not like they're not putting enough money to change the person's life. I think they picked up some really nice clothes. They got 15 minutes of fame to be on TV, and Stacy and Clinton get to get richer and rebuild their relationship, and that's the sum total.
I think it would be interesting for them to have brought on a therapist, because you know how on that show, what's the people
Queer Eye, they do it. So Queer Eye, it's like
they
don't. Yeah, so on Queer Eye, they address your look, like you get a makeover. They address your hair. They redo your house. But then Karamo acts as the they teach you how to cook, and he acts as the life coach. So he does sit down with people and say, how did you get here? And he tries to give them some tools. Now he is not a licensed therapist to my knowledge. But they still are trying their best to say, we're not just going to put like a bunch of fluff around your issue, because there is something deeper here that got you to this place. And let me at least give you an opportunity to talk about it and maybe give you some tools.
I was going to bring up the show Hoarders. They do that as in the process of cleaning up the house. They bring on an actual licensed therapist to say, hey, let's talk through how we got here, what we're going to do going forward. And people really break down. Like, they really break down. Yeah. Because Hoarders, that's a whole, like, that the level of extremism on display in Hoarders.
Yes.
We need several therapists to come in and help this person.
People are really having a hard time.
All right, more or less. What would you want to see more of or less of in this show?
I mean, I like fashion. So, I mean, if Clinton and Kelly don't get their... Or Clinton and Kelly, good Lord, Clinton and Stacy don't get their vibe together, I'm still going to like really appreciate the fashion.
For the fashion,
maybe not as much as what not to wear, because I'm not going to ascribe to every single person's style, but I like more of the fashion. I like less of the weird lifestyle experience. I hope that was like the first episode.
Hopefully
weirdness. I hope they're not doing that to people, like putting them in these weird situations.
And I would say more. I would have found it interesting to get into that person's life through the eyes of a therapist. I think that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Because what you and I tapped into was this idea of motherhood. And I wish they had tapped into that as well. But maybe they're just like, hey, we want people to just enjoy a half hour.
That's right.
Without getting deep. Just look at some clothes and move on.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to do Marry, Kill, One Night Stand, because these are real people. And we do not marry, kill, or one night stand real people.
Any real people.
Okay, and now for the question we've all been waiting for. Are you going to wear whatever the F you want again, or was this a one episode stand for you?
I am going to see it again, at least 2 more episodes, because episode 2, I can tell I'm not into this guy's style, so I might skip to the next one and see what's up. But I'm going to give it one more try.
Okay. I'm done, Jobina.
You're done. Well, of course you are. I'm surprised I got you to watch the first episode.
You know what? You know what you can do for me, though? If they have a black person,
I'll holler.
Let me know.
I'll let you know.
And I will see. Because I'm also curious to see if the show got better. Because from the first episode of One Episode Stand, I would like to think we've gotten better. So maybe they've gotten better. Maybe they've learned from their mistakes. So if they have a black, and I'm interested in a black person just because I want to, like, black style, right? Like, it's just a person from LA, Ohio, Houston. Like, I want to see what they're coming to the table with and then what they leave with. So, all right. Anything else we need to discuss about
I think we covered it. In all of its depth, we covered it.
Right. All right. Thank you all for listening to One Episode Stand. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to the podcast to be alerted when new episodes drop. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us a rating. The theme music is Freedom by Paradox Hip Hop. We'll be back next time with another series premiere. Jobina, let's end on this. Every story has a moral. What was the moral of this episode?
The moral of this episode was, moms, don't give yourselves completely away. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself and stop wearing your daughter's clothes.
No, go see a therapist. No.
Go see a therapist.
Go see several therapists about your issues because you're driving your husband / baby
now,
daddy.
I don't subscribe to that. No, that was not the moral. No.
Because us baby daddies are out here struggling to manage your crazy. Go see a therapist.
Lord.
All right. See y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.